It's Ted Bogert. Welcome back to the TED Show, our final show of the day. But I'm super excited to have this amazing lady on. She's a great friend to me. She has an amazing journey. You're going to be totally motivated and inspired. It's the one and only, probably have to refresh, the one and only Susan Reddick is with us. Look at how beautiful she is in yellow. She's looking down right now because she's trying to figure out how to share. There you go. Now just click share. You look beautiful in yellow. You look beautiful in everything. It's such a blessing that God brought us together. I feel like that's definitely a God thing. She is a broker owner in real estate. She is a veteran. She has a lineage here in this town that is amazing, and she's going to share all of that. And of course, I love the title of the show, which is kind of a spin on what her mom said. If I can help one woman, then I have done a great deed. Yes. Welcome, Susan. How you doing?
Hi, everybody.
Woo! So, all right. So you look amazing. I don't know how it is we bonded, but immediately we did. I just love your energy. I love what you give back to the community. And so I want everybody to know all about Susan Reddick. Tell them beginning. Give them a little origin story. Tell them a little bit about you.
Oh, wow. I don't know where to start.
Go ahead. Start wherever you want.
Well, you know what? In church, the pastor always says that sometimes you have to tell people about your journey because your test, whatever your test that you've gone through, will be your testimony.
Amen to that.
And a lot of times people don't want to share it because, we want to be who we are today, not talk about who we used to be yesterday.
That's right.
So what I open up sometimes because what we say can help someone else.
Agreed.
So what we talked about earlier, I was a teen parent, and a lot of times that can be can set you back a lot.
Yes.
It can be used against you.
It's a challenge, right?
Oh my God, it's such a challenge. But my mother was a teacher. My mother's not with us anymore, but she was a great woman. And my mother never let me give up, and she made sure that I kept moving forth and I was going to make it. How beautiful is that? So, when you're young, you rebel and you do things.
Yes.
So
But how was it? You grew up in a family. You're local. Your family is enmeshed in Central Florida. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, I am actually a native, and it's hard to find a native.
I
am actually private school educated. I went to private school back in the day when everybody didn't go to private school. So I'm talking 50 years ago.
You look 30, if that.
Yeah, that's my sister that went 50 years. Who am I talking about?
Oh, no.
But I went to a private school. My mother and father were very hardworking people, and they made sure they had us educated. But I'm from Orlando. I went to a school, Orlando Junior Academy, here in Orlando. So homegrown.
I love it. And so you took a journey. You are a veteran. So, there's Cece. Hey, Cece. You took a journey. You are a vet. Talk about that. What was the impetus behind that? How did you get into? Because you served in
the Coast Guard.
Coast Guard.
Yeah, I proudly served in the U.S. Coast Guard. But I'm from a military family. Everybody in my family has served either in the Navy, Air Force, Army. I'm Coast Guard. They try to make jokes about it, but hey, Coast Guard is a form of
still a veteran.
Yeah.
Listen to me.
So, and then also I have a sister that was a military wife to a Navy chief. So a lot of times people don't think about it, but when you're the spouse, you're serving too.
You're absolutely
traveling.
Tons of sacrifices. Yeah. Kenneth Richards, big brother, is
watching.
That's
my big brother, yes.
And Chris Hales popped on. Hey, Chris, and Cece, of course.
So I'm from a military family, and to me, a military can be such a good foundation. It taught me a lot. I still use those rules because in the military, my brother-in-law, who's a Navy chief, always says that if you're on time, you're 15 minutes late.
Amen to that.
Okay, so
amen.
I try.
Are y'all
to be
listening?
Punctual. Yes, you have to be punctual. So I use that every day in my business. If I'm going to meet a client, I get there early. I like to get there, open up the house, and be prompt.
Yes.
So people know that you appreciate their business. And then I'm going to give you a great full service.
Respect of time is something that I feel like a lot of people have gotten away with.
Yeah.
Or gotten away from. And so it's so good to have somebody who pays attention to that. I'm the same way. If I am on time, then I'm 15 minutes late, at least. I like to get there early, scope it out, figure out what I'm doing, get the lay of the land. All right, let's talk about your transition from out of the Coast Guard into civilian life. Did you get into real estate right away? What was your path?
Well, when I first came home, I started working for the state attorney's office right here in downtown Orlando, and so I've been a paralegal for 35 years, and specialized in family law, divorces. I do criminal work, a lot of different things. I can pretty much do anything. So I left the state attorney's office, went into a private sector. And so I still kind of dabble in that too. But once I started my own business, I decided that I would go into real estate. And
what was did anybody in your world, were they in real estate? What was the reason behind that?
I kind of got into it by mistake. A friend of mine had her own real estate business, but she was a mortgage broker too. I don't know how you can do both, because it's kind of hard to wear both of those hats.
One.
Exactly. So I saw how she was struggling, and I said, well, I'll get my license and maybe I can help you show people houses. And so I got my license, but I didn't know it was going to be so much work. I just thought you just went and say, hey,
no, it's a lot of work.
It's a lot of work. So I got my license. And so then once I got my license, I said, well, it's so hard to do it, I better go ahead and work it. So then I've been a broker though for over 15 years. So that was when you could only be a realtor for 1 year.
Yes.
And then you could get your license. Now they don't let you do that anymore.
No, they don't anymore.
Yeah. So I got my broker license after my first year, and I've been on my own ever since. And you know, what has helped me to be good is people like you, because I became a broker so fast. You know, when you have a broker, there's nobody to teach you. You're supposed to be teaching people, right?
That's correct.
So what I did was, my mom always just taught me to pay attention to people. So I always make sure I connect myself to people who I think that can help me, educate me, you know, and we can help each other. You know, I think that every relationship should be a two-way relationship.
Well, I think it's so important too, but I also feel like you lead with encouragement, and you're leading. Your foot forward is not about you; it's about the other person. That was one of the big things that struck me when we have met, is that you're always thinking about either your team or your family or the community, or any of the other million things that you're involved with. It's a very selfless approach. You're planting seeds. We're both faith-based people, if you all didn't know that. So the planting of the seeds is just a wonderful thing. And you can't always count on that seed, but I can tell you that if you plant seeds, you will get rewarded a million times over. But you have to engage with people, and you can't always lead with, what can you do for me?
Yeah.
You have to lead with, how can I help you, which I love about you. And I think that is such a testament to who you are, which goes to the theme, if I can help one woman, I have done a great deed. Tell us the story behind that.
Well, just to piggyback off of what you just said, my mom would always say, well, they used to call me Cookie when I was growing up, but
duly noted.
But she'd always say, if you keep your hand tight, then God can put more blessings in it. My mom was a wise woman now.
Swear to you, that's beautiful.
I've used that in my business, that if you help someone and ask for nothing in return, you just don't know how you're going to be blessed.
That's correct.
And so, I mean, you won't be able to handle the blessing that you're going to get.
To that. Amen.
So now, what was your question?
No, I love that, because I'm going to use that, because that's absolutely true. We talk about it on the show a lot. You can't hold on to your gifts, your talents. You're literally hurting yourself, let alone the people that you could impact with the gifts that you've been given. So I love that analogy. I was asking about how the title of the show is, if I can help one woman, I've done a great deed. That's a spin on something that your mom said a lot.
Yeah, well, my mom being a teacher, growing up, and I've kind of turned into her, I would always be like, why are you always helping people? And why are you always doing that?
My kids say the same thing to me.
But my mom would always be helping women but children. And even on her headstone, on her grave, we have her quote was, if she could help one child, then she's done a great deed. So I've had a lot of mentor groups, and I've helped a lot of young people, but I decided my real passion is helping women. So that's my kind of thing that I go by. If I can help just one woman, I mean, I love men and I'm going to treat everybody the same, but I just feel like, I'm in the girl power, and sometimes I feel like, women, we are the ones that we do a lot of work, and sometimes we're forgotten about the work that we have done. So if I can just help one woman, then I feel like I've done a great deal.
Which I love. I love that concept, because as a man looking on the outside in, I feel like the women can be very critical of each other. It is. we talk about women empowerment, we talk about women entrepreneurs, and I have talked to many women, and they have not felt as supported by other women.
Yeah.
And Kenneth says, that was cute. You asked him again what his question was. Thank God I remembered, my friend, because that could have gone
We should
anyway.
write stuff down.
Yeah, it's late in the day. It's Friday. But I feel like women sometimes, instead of supporting, there's more of a challenge there. So how do you overcome that? Because I know I guarantee you've experienced something of that nature before, where you are out there helping, and then there are not just women, but people in general, not as supportive of your mission as you would like them to be.
Well, my mom helped me with it because she ruled the house with an iron fence, and whatever she said went. Okay,
I love it.
But
in matriarch.
Yes, but in the military, that helped you with, because the military has a chain of command.
Yes.
And whoever's there, you have to go through certain steps to do things, and that kind of teaches you. Like a lot of times people just think you can just walk in the door and talk to the boss. You can't. In the military, you have to talk to this person and get permission to go to the next level and stuff. So, and that helped me a lot with that. Then the next thing I came across when I worked at the state attorney's office, I've worked for a lot of women. And I feel like if you can work for a woman in power, you can work for anybody. Okay. And,
she said it.
Yeah, I said it. Yeah, but you know what? They taught me so much, and I've been so appreciative of that. And but it is. I think sometimes with us as girls, and the struggle, and it's probably, some of it's your fault, the guys.
You're not
because
wrong.
We have to struggle to get our position and to be appreciated. Correct. That sometimes we have to be extra hard to prove that we can do the same thing that a man can do. Yes. So it never bothers me if I see a woman doing something or whatever. I'm not insecure who I am. Correct. If you ask me something, I can give you that knowledge because I still have it. I'm still just as smart as I am.
That's correct.
So it doesn't take anything from me to give it to you. I don't have a problem with working for a woman, working with a woman. I got a team full of dynamic women.
Yes, you do. Let's talk about your team. Yes. Let's talk about real estate. Let's talk about Richards Reddick Real Estate.
Yes.
Tell us about, you said you had your broker's license forever, but tell us about how that is, because you are growing a team.
Yeah.
We love you all. We've been very blessed to be part of the growth since you and I met. See, my broker's the best, Ebony says. Well, so tell us about how that is, because as a woman lead, you do have some men in there.
Yeah, I do have.
Lots of personalities, independent contractors, people want to do their own thing. How does that look?
Well, first of all, we speak English, Creole, and Spanish. I have a wonderful Spanish-speaking young man that works for me, because I don't want to forget about the men, okay? I have a guy that speaks Creole, and I have another broker associate that speaks Creole. Beautiful. And so we have a dynamic team. But what I like is because I have a singer.
You sure do. She popped on the show. Hello, CC Tania.
I have a singer. I have a young lady who's a pharmacist. I have a couple of teachers. I have a nurse. I have people who are regular entrepreneurs. I have one that's a dental hygienist and stuff. So what we have is, and I encourage people, like some brokerages only want you to work full time.
Yes.
But I encourage people to work other jobs, because in any business you can have slow periods and you can have fast periods. So you still got to pay the bills, bring the bills home, and all.
Listen, we're living right now in a crazy little world in real estate.
Yes.
So inventory has been a challenge. I think we're seeing a shift, but it's definitely been a challenge. So having that. Wouldn't we all like to just, and by the way, real estate is not as glamorous as y'all think. There's lots of challenges. And when you're your own boss or your own independent contractor, you really have to make things work. And it's not all pretty. You got to get dirty, you got your hands dirty, roll your sleeves up. And I think that's so when I went to, Daniel and I were lucky enough to be invited to your Christmas party.
Yes.
And what I loved about that was the love and the respect and the amount of support. You could feel it in the room. When you're in a room and the leader Susan has created a culture of that is positive and accepting and supportive, you can feel the difference. So kudos to you. I think culture is critical in any business, small or large. And you have obviously created a world where your people feel safe. They feel good about what they're doing. They feel good about their education and their support from you. And you just give it willingly. And I love that. I saw everybody stand up at the front of when they were doing one of the presentations, and all the realtors got up, and it was a beautiful sight because they all
It
absolutely
was.
loved you. All looked stunning, by the way. Everybody looked beautiful.
It was
But it
great.
was such a positive. Like I left there thinking, God, if I was in real estate, that's where I want to be because that's where I would feel home. I would feel welcome.
Yeah. I try to have an open door policy. I want to have it. I'm just trying to do it different. I want to let you know I'm at the office every day. So you can, if you need to talk to the broker, just knock on the door. I'm right there. And then also what we're doing different is because I have some experienced realtors, I have some newer realtors. And so we do a thing every other Saturday. We did it last week with you.
We did.
And
I
we
was
had
so
such a great
excited, so
time.
honored.
Yes.
Juan Gonzalez hosted a little lunch and learn with Susan and her team, and he left there. He's like, "I'm so glad. That was so good."
Yeah, we had a great time. He even knew one of the realtors.
Oh, he did?
Yes, Chris. He knew Chris.
Oh, he knew Chris. Yeah,
And
sure.
so we had a great time.
That's our nurse, right?
Yes,
Hi, Chris.
yes.
Happy Nursing Week, by the way, or Nursing Month. It's right around the corner if it's not already.
But every other Saturday we do real estate 101, and I just because I was like, oh, I have a lady that works at the jail.
Wow.
I have someone that works at the jail. We have so many different types of professions. And I remember we were after one training because we go out once a month to have a big training. And after the training, she came and told me, she said, I didn't understand anything they were talking about. And then it made me sit back and think because, you go to these big trainings and you just stick all these realtors in a room and you don't know what someone has actually grasped from that.
That's correct.
So what I decided was every other Saturday morning, we get up, come to the office. It's not mandatory, but even the broker associates comes. Chris comes, and she's an experienced realtor. And we spend a couple hours, and we have a continental breakfast, and we just take it from the basics.
Yes.
101, just like you just started. And we talk about branding and what you would do, whatever they want to talk about. If you're out with a buyer, if you're selling the house, and we just take it from the first step 101, and they love it. And it's supposed to be an hour and a half. Sometimes we're there 4 hours.
Well, I think there's a need right now. I think a lot of times people join a brokerage or any business, right? You go to a business and you think there's a whole bunch of honeymoon period in the beginning. There's courting is what I call it.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden you sign up and it's like, God bless, where is all that stuff and that energy and that positivity and that help and education that I was promised?
Mm-hmm.
And there's a lot of over promising and under delivering in both of our industries. Mortgage is the same. We have people come on board to other mortgage companies, and it's very difficult when you're sold a bill of goods and then you get there and then you are flailing. You have no support, you have no help. And I think that it's so critical. I love a boutique approach, which is what you are, because they can find you. They will find you. And you are accessible. And I think that's so critical for all you do. You also do a lot of stuff in the community. Talk about that.
Oh, okay. Well, you know what? For this year, for our Christmas party, what we decided to do was give back. And it was so fun. We came up with this theme where everybody that came would bring a gift, a toy for a child. And then the realtors themselves, they brought several toys. And I mean, we had over 100 toys. And then what we did was, since we're right here in the downtown area, we supported the PKZ kids.
Yes.
Right there. And we
I love them.
Brenda Oliver from the city of Orlando.
Yes, I love her. She did.
She accepted the toys. And the mayor wrote us a thank you letter himself, and it was great, but it was so fulfilling. And so that's something that we're going to continue to do and give back. I don't think you should just be in a community, get an office and earn and make money off a community. You got to give back to the community.
I think a lot of times people don't know who to give back to.
Yeah.
And so, but I think it's so important in your overall business plan to include that because again, regardless of what your beliefs are, ours are faith, you could universe it, you could whatever it is that you want to believe in, you're going to do good. It's going to come back to you 100-fold. And so if you plant those seeds and you really reach out and you roll your sleeves up and help, there are plenty of organizations, community organizations, people who need assistance. And maybe one of those people might get the bright idea to join your type of business, become a realtor, be motivated because they see you giving back. Yeah. And they also see that they can break out of whatever they're in. They can do good things. They can get to a level where they can give back. And I think that's the feeling I get from you all the time. There's always a give back component. So as we wrap up, see how fast it goes?
Yeah.
As we wrap up, I like to ask this, especially if somebody like you that I feel like gives back so much and really takes that team lead seriously, really invests in your people. When I say the word hero to you, who's the first person that comes to mind?
Hero. Who? I still have to go back to my mom. Because everything that I am is based on what my mom sold into me. And it's so funny, when you're young, you don't even know what your parents are putting into you.
That's right.
And then as you get older, you're like, boy, I'm turning to my mom, you know? So that would be, I think that heroes should be people that you actually have contact with.
Agreed.
Like a lot of times people get mad at athletes, like, oh, he should be doing that. That's his job. You know what I'm saying? Correct. I think that, and so what I try to do is base it on people who are help me. So that could be you, because you helped me. It could be Cece's. No, Cece's always doing something for my entire team. Every time I come someplace and my team shows that they have faith and confidence in me, that helps me to go.
It fills your heart and your soul.
Yeah,
I'm
serious. So
you get refilled, you get recharged when you see that. And Enrique, hey, Enrique goes, Mom's rock. You're right. Another veteran, by the way, an amazing human being. Cece Tennille, hey, Chris, thank you for that. It's such a blessing. I don't know how we came together. Maybe it was Cece, maybe it was somebody else. But I love when God, as a faith man, God brings people together, because your energy, your spirit, there's a joy to it. There's a willingness to help, and there's a selflessness to it, and you don't see that often. Well, I appreciate it.
I think I know what drew me to you is when I was trying to schedule my Christmas party. And remember, it didn't work out. Ooh. And he was so upset about it, and he wanted to help me any way he could. And he made certain that he was in attendance. And we eat breakfast together all the time.
Yeah, we do.
There is nothing that I could ask you if it's within your ability. And that's kind of like me. Like I'm saying, I can't take anything away from you, and you can't take any. Why not just share and help each other?
Correct. Share and help each other. I love you to pieces. You are amazing. Susan Reddick, tell them the best way they can find you. How can they reach out to you, learn more about what you do?
Oh, it's pretty simple to find me. I'm on Facebook as Susan Reddick. I use my real name. Young people have all these other names.
They got some.
Just look for Susan Reddick, and I'm on Instagram. If I could just leave with this,
yes, please,
because I am big into helping women and to girl power. And we can do anything. And I don't want you to think just because you had a setback. The reason why I shared that I was a teen mother, because I didn't give up. Just pick yourself up, dust yourself off, and keep going. When it seems like it's tough, keep going and reach out for help. Because a lot of times people think that you're the only one going through that situation. So just reach out and someone can help you.
Agreed. That's why we do these shows. You guys aren't alone. I know it feels like that. No matter what your situation is, somebody has gone through it or is going through it, and there is help. There are resources. There are people like Susan and her team that care and they want to give back, and they've been where you're at in one way, shape, or form. And so reach out. Don't give up. I love that. And we love you to pieces. You guys reach out. The website's there, richardsreddickrealty.com. Have a beautiful weekend, everybody. We will see